Well, I'm here at K1 Speed today. Tonight is our racing league. It's the second event of the season. Did a couple practice runs. First practice run, the best I did was a 24.9, which is about a second from my best time. Then my second practice run that I was doing, just because I haven't been here for almost a month, my best was a 25.3. So I'm way off of my where I want to be at. Kind of depressing, to be honest. I don't know, maybe the cars are turned down to level 3 instead of running level 4 right now. A guy I ran with the league with last time, I think he was running a 23.5 last league event. He's only getting a 24.8, so seems like something's up with the carts. Maybe the tires aren't warm enough, just not getting a good grip. We just having a lot of like bumping and stuff from the tires, and like sliding out. So we're gonna see what we can do in the event. I'm in the first heat. It's definitely been a fun night so far, but very upsetting. But I did go through and drive the BRZ today. Let's see here. The current status on the BRZ is I still have no suspension on it yet. I finally figured out what my exhaust rattle was. My tip, because I have the Goretti RS Race exhaust, was coming loose. So I tightened that up the other day, got that fixed, replaced the O2 sensor. I'm still having O2 sensor no circuit activity in the bank 1 sensor 2 spot. So I got to get that figured out. So I'm not sure if the issue is also with the tune, because I'll also notice when I'm driving highway speeds 75-ish that the car will go through and get almost like a misfire or some like pre-ignition in the exhaust. The car's stage 2 tuned by Delicious Tuning, has a Tomei unequal length header, Tomei overpipe, Tomei front pipe, the Type 80, and then I also have the exhaust, of course. It's got a Takeda cold air intake by AFE, which that's going to be coming off soon. I'm looking at getting the Perrin, because I have a Perrin oil cooler I'm putting on the car as well. Just get those oil temperature temps down. So I don't have a lot done to it, but it's very laggy compared to my friend who has the exact same mods, only he's got the equal length headers and a different catback system. And I think he may be running the stock overpipe and front pipe and just has a catback. And his car does way more than what mine does. I do know I'm having some transmission issues. Been noticing that since about the time I bought the car. So I do know the transmission is a little weak. I'm thinking the clutch might need replaced before too long too. So I'm looking at maybe getting another stock transmission and doing a stage 2 clutch for now until I get ready to do the CD009 swap. I'm looking at going to Element Tuning to get the engine rebuilt for 9,000 RPMs, because it's going to be my track car. Then I got a whole bunch of interior stuff I'm doing to it. But the reason I'm driving the BRZ today is because I have getting ready to try to part the Audi. It's getting ready to get the vacuum pump resealed, upper front cover resealed, new oil pan, doing injectors, cleaning, doing a carbon cleaning, resealing the intake manifold with a new gasket, putting the new gasket into the high pressure fuel pump, and see if that won't get rid of the misfire on cylinder 4, because it's only getting a misfire when you first start it, and then at High RPM around 6,000, 6,200 generally. So if all goes well, this will solve that issue. I did notice that using the intake manifold tune from Integrated makes it not misfire so bad on startup during enrichment, but it still has the high RPM misfire. I talked to a performance shop near me, and we are thinking that it's either a carbon issue not letting the valve seal all the way, or it is a injector issue. Just because I know there's a lot of carbon buildup coming on my plugs. I changed out the plugs twice since I bought the car in September. So I do know there's that. I'm putting a catch can on it to see if that helps reduce the carbon and keep it running properly. I will give some more updates later on tonight for the league, and then I will also post the video from the final race. So I just completed the first league qualifier for my group and did better than my first practice run, but I'm still kind of lacking. I ran a 24.8 this time, which is still really bad compared to what I was running consistently just a few weeks ago. That being 24.5s, very, very consistent. And then before that, I was down about 24.3s to the 23.9 mark. Me and another guy kind of think that my cart, maybe the one they had me in this time, might have been having issues. I noticed almost like a grinding noise when turning, or like a rubbing noise. And he had another cart, and with what was going on with it, he was falling behind me, and we was both full open throttle, and he was catching me in a straight, which he said don't make no sense. He said there should be no reason why he should be catching me in a straightaway like that. So we're thinking that my cart 2 times in a row were pretty crappy, maybe even 3 times in a row. So we got a few more groups to go through, and then after that I'll start my second qualifier, hopefully have a better cart, and we will see what happens from there. I'd go through and be adding in some footage of like some of the races and stuff and other stuff going on. It's just really crowded in here, so that's why I'm coming outside to do this. I will have footage though at the end of this video for the final race, which is a position race, not a time race. So I'll be back as soon as I finish the next qualifier. All right, so it's a couple days after the league. We had some stuff come up after our first qualifying run that we ended up not getting a chance to do any more recording to give updates on the rest of the night. I did get the video though of the final race. I was going to go ahead and do the update now. So for the second qualifying run, I ran a 24.1, which is a good improvement from where I was at in the first qualifying run, which was a 24.8. So I was about a 2/10 slower than what I used to be, 2/10 slower than what I was on the first league, which that's where I ran the 23.9. It was like a 23.940, something like that. And then I ran a 24.102 on my second qualifying run on Sunday. So that put me up into a different bracket. Turns out we had a lot more people show up this time. So the first league run, we ended up having 5 groups, because we had groups A through E, and we actually had all the way to group G, I think it was group G this time. I ended up being in group E, so I went down a group, but the difference between one group to another was within half a second. So group A, their times were like 23.0 to 23.2, and I mean, we're talking minimal. If I would have ran half a second faster, I would have been probably group C. My friend, he ran a 23.4, I think it was, and he's in Group C. And he was the leader of Group C. So that shows you that the competition was pretty tight for how few people, well, for how many people were there. So when we started the final race, it gave me position 3. And this race was brutal, to say the least. We had people slamming into each other. So I started off in 3rd place. Then at one point, one of the guys got hit or something. I can't remember. I have to go through the video again, which I'll have the video uploaded with this. And he dropped from 1st place all the way to behind me. And I mean, I probably got hit 5 or 6 times throughout the whole entire race. I went from 3rd to 2nd, back to 3rd, and ended up getting passed more towards the very end of the race and went down to 4th. My best lap on that was a 24.4. I mean, this was a position race though, so there's lots of blocking, people hitting each other. With it being such a tight and technical course too, you barely miss your line and you went through and your whole entire lap is destroyed. You could drop a second and a half just by missing your line barely. So I'm still working on learning the best line for me on this track. I followed the leader, the top person at the place. His best time was a 22.8. He got that about a month ago. He's not touched that time since. But I followed him, and lots of people I know followed him, and his line doesn't work for them. So really, a lot of it has to do with your weight, with the car you get, because some of the cars are complete crap. So I had 26 car one time, and I went through and I just kind of turned the wheels at a standstill, and I noticed a weird sound. It's like, okay, that's weird. And then I noticed that when I was warming up my tires, as I was on the track, just trying to warm them up before we actually got fully started on the race, and I noticed like a weird, almost like grinding or rubbing noise. So we have stuff like that kind of came up with some of the karts. I know they voted 36 out of the race altogether. That was a unanimous vote that kart 36 was in bad condition. There's possibly other karts were in fairly bad condition as well. So that was a very brutal race. I'm hoping that next month will be a little better. I'm not too hopeful at that right now because I do work a full-time job and I have overtime that week. So my first day off is the day of the league, and I'm going to basically get home from 11 days straight of working and sleep until about 3 in the afternoon and head down to Arkansas to go to the next league run. So this will be a very, very fun time. But I'll go through and continue to upload videos. And it's the first Sunday of every month, so we will go through, have the league events then. I may go through and see if I can't get a hold of the cameras for maybe some extra practice days I take. So you can kind of see like what a qualifying run more look like. And then kind of show you what the line's like to get, certain times. And then if I can do that enough on my races, it could also be a learning tool for me. Like, okay, well, I got a 23.9 not doing this line, but I got a 24.5 doing this line. That's going to really help me and kind of show you like how small of a difference can make, how much of a difference in the line, like a very small difference in the line can make in time. I mean, I ran almost the same line every single time, and just, I'd say within 2 inches of running that line, it seemed like there was up to a half-second difference in lap times. I mean, pretty consistently on my second qualifying run, I was running 24, 24.4, 24.2, and then into the 24.1 in that race. And my line was almost exactly the same every single time, but it was just very small differences that made a big difference. A guy that I raced with there, which I may be working with him on a couple things down the road, we was even going over the track map and like try to figure out where we're losing our time at, where we can make up our time, where we can improve, where we're doing good at, and even doing that has been a challenge. But we'll head into the final race.
Position race. You won't see the blue flag. There's no bumping allowed. A little bit of rubbing, that's fine. At the drop of my green flag. It's like that one time at pancake. At the drop of my green flag, the race is on. Let the best man win. Please race with respect. Please. That's all I ask. Thank you.
Alright, at the drop of this flag, I'll start your guys' starts, okay?
Alright. Drivers ready? Forward with the flag.